They want everything, but they don't really want to put in the work. And I got to where I got to by putting in the work, sacrificing a lot of things. You know, left my mother in a hood until I was able to move her out the hood, and she didn't have to work again. That's what I did. So a lot of sacrifices. I wanted to move her with me when I first left, but you have to sacrifice something to get something, and that's what these fighters don't want to do. They don't want to sacrifice nothing.
You're going to have to sacrifice, not once, not twice, but again and again, until all that's left of you are the parts that are unbreakable. That's the truth no one tells you when they say you can do anything you want. They don't want to tell you that to become someone extraordinary, you must first face the ordinary inside you, the doubt, the distractions, the craving for comfort, and watch it die by your own hand. Because comfort is the great thief of creation. It seduces you and it whispers, "Stay here, you've done enough. You deserve to rest." But if you listen long enough, you realize comfort is a lie disguised as kindness. It trades your potential for peace. It sells you small pleasures in exchange for your future. And every time you choose comfort over challenge, you sacrifice something too. You just don't notice it. Because the pain doesn't come today. It comes later, quietly, when you wake up one morning and realize you're surrounded by things, but empty of meaning. But when you sacrifice now, when you give up the fleeting comfort of the present for the permanent fire of purpose, something else awakens inside you. You become unstoppable, not because you never fail, but because you finally understand what failure really is. The proof that you're still in the fight. Everyone talks about success like it's a reward. It isn't. It's a replacement. You trade your excuses for execution. You trade your fleeting happiness for meaning. You trade who you are for who you're meant to become. And that transformation, it doesn't happen in sunlight. It happens in the dark, in the hidden war between your potential and your weakness. Every morning when you wake up, that war begins anew. One voice tells you, rest. You've earned it. The other whispers, move. You haven't yet become. The question is, which voice will you obey? Greatness isn't a lightning strike. It's an erosion of fear, of doubt, of everything inside you that resists discipline. Every act of sacrifice chisels the old you away. Every act of will sharpens your edges. If you suffer with purpose, you don't get weaker, you get sculpted. Ask any master, any legend, any name etched into history, and they'll tell you success demanded everything. Sleep, peace, relationships, joy, all rationed, all burned on the altar of one idea. You must become obsessed, not with the prize, but with the process. Because when you're obsessed with the process, you stop watching the clock and you stop fearing failure. You start belonging to something larger than yourself, a mission that gives your suffering a spine. Every day you must continue to die to who you were. That's the essence of sacrifice. Rebirth through pain. And yes, people will laugh at you. They'll say you've changed as if that's an insult. They'll label your ambition as arrogance. They'll call your focus selfishness, but they don't understand. You're not chasing approval. You're chasing alignment. You're reconstructing yourself into something that reality can no longer deny. Discipline is divine. It's the closest thing to magic a human can perform. It takes the intangible, goals, dreams, visions, and turns them into matter. It bends time. It translates sweat into legacy. It converts doubt into dominance. There's beauty in that. There's poetry in watching your sacrifices plant the seeds of something you once thought was impossible. You want to know what real freedom feels like. It's not doing what you want. It's having earned the right to become who you always knew you could be. Freedom isn't about breaking rules. It's about mastering yourself until the rules bow to your will. Humanity itself is written on the spine of sacrifice. Every step forward in history and every breakthrough, every empire, every revolution, bought and paid for in blood, sweat, and relentless faith. Why should you expect yours to come cheaper? If greatness were simple, mediocrity wouldn't be crowded. If success were painless, we'd all be kings. But the world doesn't crown those who merely wish, it crowns those who withstand. Let's talk about pain. Pain is not your enemy. Pain is the most honest feedback the universe gives. It's how life asks, how badly do you want it? The ones who run from pain live half lives, always avoiding, always settling. But those who embrace pain, who lean into discomfort, they discover something holy. Pain transmuted becomes power. That's the true psychology of sacrifice. Every moment of discomfort rewires you. Every act of delayed gratification builds new architecture in your mind. Eventually, the pain that once broke you becomes the weapon that saves you. And the irony is, the more you give up now, the more abundant your future becomes. Sacrifice compresses time. What would have taken a decade, you can achieve in a year if you're willing to shoulder the unbearable. Discipline, in its rawest form, is self-respect. It's declaring to the universe, I'm worth the discomfort it takes to build something extraordinary. It's looking at your reflection and saying, you're not finished yet. Because that's the truth. You're not finished. You're becoming. Every second of struggle, every tear, every failure, raw material in the masterpiece called you. At the end of your life, when you stand in that quiet space between memory and eternity, you'll see it clearly. The moments you wanted to quit, those are the real victories. You'll remember the nights of sacrifice, not with bitterness, but with gratitude, because they gave your life texture. They gave your story depth. You will realize the universe is not cruel. It is exact. It gives everyone the same raw clay, time, pain, choice, and waits to see what sculpture you'll form. So remember, you will sacrifice eventually. The question is not if, but what. Don't sacrifice your dreams. Don't sacrifice your potential. And don't sacrifice the fire that still burns within you because you're afraid of being uncomfortable. Instead, sacrifice your comfort. Sacrifice your fear. Sacrifice your ego. Sacrifice everything that keeps you small. Because one day, soon, when they call your name, when they say you're number one, you will stand there, not as someone who stumbled upon success, but as someone who earned it with scars. In that moment, you'll understand every tear was worth it. Every late night was an offering. Every sacrifice was sacred. That is the law of greatness. Sacrifice is not the price of success. It is success.